Ever wonder what really makes a concert season click? It's way more than just a list of famous pieces. Today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical idea that the repertoire, the list of what actually gets performed, is the secret operating system for the entire performing arts world. I mean, think about it. Why is it that some concert halls feel kind of empty while others are just buzzing with this incredible energy? The answer isn't just about big name stars or flashy marketing. Nope, it's hiding in plain sight, right there in the program itself. You see, for so long, programming was treated like a fixed list, handed down from on high by an artistic director. But there's a new way of thinking that sees it as something so much more. It's a living system, a responsibility that everyone shares, and this is the big one, it's a civic act, an act that can truly shape the culture of a whole community. All right, so let's get into this new framework. We're going to rethink what repertoire can be, and honestly, what it should be. This is a huge shift in perspective, and it has the power to change everything about how these organizations work. This quote from conductor Diego Barbosa Vazquez really gets to the heart of it. He says programming isn't just the selection of works, it's the construction of a living governance system for cultural commons. Okay, I know that sounds a little academic, so let's break down what those two big ideas really mean. First up, repertoire as governance. Okay, so instead of seeing the season program as a menu of options, think of it more like a constitution. It's the core document that literally dictates how money, time, and creative energy are going to flow through the entire organization. It spells out who does what and why they're doing it. And that leads right into the cultural commons. This just means we stop thinking of an orchestra or a ballet company as some kind of exclusive club. Instead, it's a shared public resource, like a park. It belongs to everyone, and it's kept alive and healthy by everyone involved, the artists, the staff, and the community it's supposed to be serving. So how in the world do you actually manage this cultural commons? Well, this new framework gives us a really powerful and simple way to visualize it. It all comes down to 3 circles. So here it is. This diagram basically shows us the whole ecosystem. You've got these 3 interconnected circles, right? And what's holding it all together, the thing that links every single piece, it's the repertoire. When these 3 circles are in sync, that's when the magic happens. Right at the very center, you have the artists. This makes sense, right? The repertoire has to serve them. It has to challenge them, help them grow, and give them the fuel they need to do their absolute best work. Their passion is the engine for the whole shebang. The next circle out is the organization. We're talking about the staff, the board, the budgets, all the practical stuff. The repertoire can't just be an artistic dream. It has to actually work with the organization's goals, its fundraising plans, and what it can realistically pull off. And that brings us to the outer circle, the community. This is everybody. Ticket buyers, donors, local businesses, schools, everyone. And for an arts organization to actually matter, the community has to see itself, its stories, its values, its people represented up on that stage. So here it is, the key takeaway. The repertoire is the bridge that connects these 3 worlds. It's how the artists talk to the community, and it's how the organization turns its big mission into a real, living, breathing experience that everyone can be a part of. Okay, so this all sounds fantastic in theory, right? It's a beautiful idea, but does it actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at how this framework goes from a cool concept to creating some serious impact. And what's really amazing is that we have the data to prove it. When the Greeley Philharmonic Orchestra actually put these ideas into practice, they saw a 70% increase in ticket sales. Let that sink in. That's not a tiny bump. That is a total transformation. So how on earth did they do it? Well, it wasn't a lucky guess. They built their entire season by working hand in hand with over 45 different community partners. They made sure diverse cultural stories were right there on stage, and they created this amazing balance between the classics and brand new music from local artists. They basically turned programming into a city-wide conversation. And their success really shines a spotlight on something critical. The repertoire and the budget are not 2 separate things. They are completely, totally intertwined. The artistic choices you make on stage have a direct impact on the financial health of the entire organization. This table just spells it out perfectly. Let's walk through it. You decide to do a deep community collaboration, boom, that can unlock all sorts of new funding and sponsorships. You want to do a massive, large-scale classical piece? Well, you better budget for higher artist and venue costs. And if you commission a local creator, you could tap into a whole new audience you never knew existed. Every single artistic choice is a financial choice. So let's just zoom out for a second and look at the biggest idea here. Because this isn't just some new business strategy for the arts, it's a whole new philosophy. It reframes the entire purpose of a performing arts organization and turns it into a vital civic institution. Think about it. When the repertoire on stage actually reflects the real diverse community it's in, the concert hall stops being just a place for entertainment. It becomes a platform, a place for public dialogue, a space where a community can come together to figure out who they are, where they've been, and where they're going. And this totally changes the role of the leader, too. The music director is no longer just the final judge of what's good taste. Their job becomes something much bigger. They have to be a facilitator, a translator, a bridge builder who connects the artists, the institution, and the community. So in the end, the real goal of all this is to build a cultural ecosystem that can actually last. One that's artistically amazing, sure, but also financially sound and deeply, truly relevant to its community. And that happens because everyone has a stake in it. It's all about shared stewardship. And all of this leaves us with one final question to chew on. And it's not just for arts leaders. It's for every single one of us. When you look around at your own city, your own neighborhood, what stories need to be told? What voices need to be heard? Because that, right there, is where the future of the performing arts is waiting.